Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite eShop deals coming in under $10 or of course your local currency. Here then I'll be covering deals across the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, and it is a super budget week. You could pick up all 15 featured games in this video for around $80, and that's not bad when you do the math. So with that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So this week it's actually impressed me. I thought it might be quiet given we are now wrapping up the New Year's deals, and then earlier they just kind of dropped a new batch of sales and most of them are new all-time lows. So kicking us off, we've got Octahedron Transfixed Edition. This is a highlight for me because in the US it's been nearly a year since we've seen a sale, and everywhere else think closer to a year and a half. It's a neon-soaked challenging platformer. It's that addictive loop of, dying and retrying just over and over, but you're thrown into this mysterious world and you must simply escape. To top it all off though, the electronic soundtrack, it's not only absolutely incredible, but part of the gameplay as well. It actually syncs with the world and the enemies around you, making for some serious strategic rhythm action. It's a new all-time low then as well at 84% off, and it does have a demo if you want to try it before you buy it. Forgotton Anne now, and like Octahedron, nearly a year since we've seen a sale, clearly influenced by the likes of Studio Ghibli. I think this is one of the best looking examples of anime in video game form. It's just stunning throughout, from the character design to the world itself. Mostly story focused exploration, it does even have some light platforming too, and you'll basically be exploring a magical world that's inhabited by the Forgotlings. They're basically forgotten items that have come to life. Your aim though, escape back to the human world, and it is a steal at 60% off. Alright, so a quick one. A couple weeks back I mentioned that Bridge Constructor The Walking Dead received a permanent price drop, bringing it below that $10 mark. Now it's got a discount on top of that with 25% off. It's a great take on the Bridge Constructor genre though. I had a blast. You're not only tasked with, of course, building these bridges, but moving your crew through this world while taking out walkers along the way. It's a surprisingly fun use of the license. There is a full review over on the channel though if you do want to learn more. Inversus Deluxe next, super budget but not quite the cheapest it's ever been. It's like 50 cents more maybe. The reason I want to bring this one up though, it's an underappreciated gem of a game. It's a hard one to explain, part puzzler, part shooter. You basically have to change the colour of the blocks around you so you can move to eliminate your opponent. It can be played solo or with up to 4 players though, so it's definitely got a lot of content. With this one I will say first, watch a full review, or even better, check out the free demo on the eShop, see if it's for you. Warhammer 40,000 Space Wolf next up. From Metacritic it seems opinions were a bit mixed, but I really did enjoy it. A turn-based strategy experience. It's small scale stuff. You'll basically control individual characters rather than units, and you'll be making a trip into this Warhammer universe. Not the best on the story front honestly, but the strategy is fun and it definitely has a good learning curve and challenge to it. It even then throws in a card deck based system to add to the strategy for all your attacks and buffers. I think this new all-time low is more than fair though with 50% off. Alright, so a recent favourite of mine now, Despotism at 3k. It has a new all-time low of 75% off. It's by far the strangest experience on today's list. It's a mashup of resource management alongside roguelike gameplay, and the idea, you are an AI that has enslaved humanity and now you must exploit the humans to build your empire. Track them though, manage their health, make sure they stay basically alive. It's simple enough, but as the eShop puts it, also extremely difficult to master. Throw in then the adult storyline and dark humour, and for me this was an absolute winner. The UK, EU, Australia, it has a couple of exclusive deals this week I just want to touch on briefly, but Urban Trial Tricky, it's back with a new all-time low of 65% off. This one will no doubt continue to drop if it's anything like the original game, but this one it's like switching out the Trails kind of gameplay, that side-scrolling tracks, for more contained areas with a focus on tricks. Same side-scrolling style, but now you can turn left and right, and it's all about racking up a high score. I do have a full review on the channel though if you want to learn more. Then Slime San has 75% off, and this is one I picked up personally, physically from Limited Run Games. It's an absolute gem. You play Slime San though, who lives a peaceful life. That is, at least until a giant worm appears out to basically kill you. Getting swallowed in the opening moments of the game, you now need to literally escape the belly of this beast as acid gets closer and closer towards you. Think here a Twitch platformer with the added pressure of death literally chasing you at every turn. I love the visual style though, and 200 levels in total with a new game plus. That's a lot of game for your cash. For those that may have been watching today then, Capcom held the Resident Evil Village event, and while I wish that was coming to the Switch personally because it looks pretty decent, we at least have a Capcom Resident Evil sale. 2 games coming in under the $10 mark though, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. This price above, it's for them individually, not both. Taking place though between the 4th and 5th entry, you are out to get to the bottom of the virus. It's traditional third-person Resident Evil. It's actually a port as well of a 3DS game, but really impressed. I love the graphical style they kind of captured with these almost like, I suppose, throwback entries, and they look especially good in handhelds. Another series for you then, Syberia 1 and 2, they're back on sale. These ones, they're for you old school point and click fans, and while they for sure definitely show their age in gameplay and graphics, really did just enjoy the story, that general adventure and puzzles. The first entry though, it's matching the all-time low of 80% off, while the sequel, not quite the lowest we've ever seen, but also not far off with this huge just 93% discount. I'd say here combined, maybe 15 to 20 hours of gameplay. It's not bad at all, and you'll be following the adventures of Kate Walker, a New York attorney, on adventures across France and just basically all over Europe. It is really impressive stuff, if just a little bit old school. Our final 3 games of the week then, starting with my pickup. This is one I'm adding to my library, meaning I can't necessarily speak to its quality, but maybe you want to take the risk and join me for the ride. This one though, it's a first time ever sale for In Celebration of Violence. It's a top-down hack and slash adventure that's been praised for its incredible difficulty, and then it was described as Dark Souls meets Binding of Isaac in a review I checked out. That was enough to sell me though, and with 30% off, it's into that budget range, so I'm more than willing to, just pull the credit card out. Our penultimate game of the week then, Super Crush K.O. with a new all-time low of 50% off. The idea? You need to get out there and save your kidnapped kitten from a deadly robot army while saving the world along the way. Combining though here solid platforming with a whole lot of think run and gun action. Yeah, if you like high scores, challenges, online leaderboards and just combo driven combat, this is the one for you. Then the visuals, they are just stunning in this low detail poly-like style. I was really impressed with this one though. I honestly wasn't really sure going in, but the whole package, it just has a really solid and consistent theme that just ended up by the end of the game absolutely charming me. Our final game of the week then, it's easily the deal of the week too, Panzer Dragoon Remake. Overpriced at launch, I still enjoyed it, but it absolutely just defied the audience. Some saying it was decent, some definitely not so much. A remake though of the Saturn game, it's essentially an on-rails shooter with some very minor movement. I'm still not sure the story honestly makes any sense to me after all these years, but at its core you're out to destroy the prototype dragon after you befriend an armoured blue dragon. Hate it or love it though, you can't deny here they tried to make this just true to the original. Every single cutscene, every single world is near identical. The problem for many, I think though, they would have liked more because you can easily wrap this one up in under an hour. It also though, I do want to point out there, has a whole lot of reasons to revisit it and just general replayability. I liked it though, as you will see in the review over on the channel, and I think this 75% off, it's a great price, so if you've been waiting for a deep sale, this is probably going to be the time to jump in. And that's it. Will you be adding anything to your library this week? It is good to see a few titles we haven't seen now in some time finally making a return. I will say with the likes of Octahedron and Inversus, I wouldn't sleep on them because who knows how long we may be waiting to see them again. With that though then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.